bitter leaf and why you need to start including it in your diet. Now, bitter leaf is one of the bitter foods, bitter vegetables. Very few of them that are bitter naturally. And of course, a good number of us do not like bitter foods. Some people hardly taste bitter food or bitter whatever, except they are sick. You don't have to wait to be sick before you start to include bitter foods or occasionally consume bitter foods like the bitter leaf. If you are not taking bitters in any way, bitter foods, you are destroying your immune system. You are not allowing your liver to cool off, because occasional bitters is very good for your liver function. If you are not including bitter foods occasionally like bitter leaf, you are giving room for fungals to grow out of control. You are also allowing your body to be a home for a lot of bacteria, because the bitter leaf contains antibacterial properties also. The bitter leaf is high in antioxidant. These are just a few of the things that bitter food does for you, especially bitter foods like bitter leaf. But in this very video, I want to specifically share a few of the uncommon benefits of consuming bitter leaves and the ways you can incorporate it into your diet. Now, the bitter leaf is common among the eastern Nigeria. A lot of people do not even know what it is, but it is something you need to deliberately go out and get to know more about this bitter vegetable. One of the benefits is its antifungal properties. It's not able to feed the fungus, what we call candida. If you include bitter leaf occasionally in your diet, candida or yeast overgrowth will have no place in your body. Number two, if you include bitter leaves, you will have high levels of zinc. A lot of you are not aware that zinc, that minute mineral called zinc, controls a lot of sites in the body, including reproduction, including growth, including your brain, your eyes. Zinc is found there. And so it's not a mineral, it's not something that you take for granted. And there are very few foods that are sources of this very trace mineral. And the good news is that bitter leaf is one of those uncommon vegetables that contains zinc. Yes, it's an immune booster. Those who are trusting to conceive, you need to start including zinc-rich food like bitter leaf in case you are not consuming it. The bitter leaf is also one of the liver-supporting herbs because of its bitterness. Occasional bitter leaf in your diet, whether you are using it in your soup or as tea or just taking it raw, is a great way to support your liver function. Bitter leaf is high in antioxidant. When we talk of antioxidant, those things that help you fight oxidative damage, that helps you to fight disease. And lately, we are even hearing that bitter leaf has anti-cancer properties. And of course, it will, because when you are able to fight those oxidative damage, there is virtually no room for cancer cells to grow. And so, this is one of the reasons why you need to start including the bitter leaf in your diet. The bitter leaf is also anti-diabetic. Yes, if you are working, if you are an older adult and you're trying to strengthen your immune system, you want to stop or delay the onset of diabetes, you need to make bitter leaf your friend. You need to start including this bitter vegetable moderately in your diet to help to manage your blood sugar, to help your body to control blood sugar. This is not only blood sugar, even the blood pressure. A good number of these things depends on your liver to function. And one of the good things about bitter leaf is it supports your liver to do its job. And so when the liver is working, your cholesterol will be controlled. Remember that the bitter leaf is also a source of soluble and insoluble fiber to help you with bad cholesterol. Those of you who are trying to manage cholesterol, trying to lower bad cholesterol, you should start including this vegetable in your diet. Talking of the bitter leaf, in moderation, to help you with those soluble and insoluble fiber, to help bring down your bad cholesterol. The bitter leaf is also one of the kidney supporting vegetables. Yes, you heard me. A lot of vegetables are good, but a good number of these vegetables are also high in oxalic acid. And it's important for us to identify those that are not kidney friendly and avoid them if you're already going through kidney problem or you want to preserve your kidney. And the good news again is that the bitter leaf is a kidney friendly vegetable. It's not among those that are very high in oxalic acid, but you need to listen to the end so you get to know how to consume this healthy vegetable, because it's not one of those vegetables that you just go into the bush, get some, slice and add to your soups. It's not one of those vegetables that you consume that way. You get to know how to consume it. And that is why you have to stick to the end to know how to take it. A lot of people have made very serious mistakes. That almost claimed their lives because they had, information about bitter leaf without getting the full information, and they rushed into it. Now, another good thing about the bitter leaf is fat burning. It's one of the top foods that helps you to burn fat. If you're trying to lose weight, you need to start including this vegetable in your diet. It's a fat burning vegetable. Yes, mostly because of its high antioxidant properties. Are you also aware that it has anti-malaria properties? Yes. If you're feeling symptoms, early symptoms of malaria, you don't have to wait until everywhere begins to ache. You need to start with your bitter leaf. It has properties to reduce your sugar, because sugar is always a feeder of disease. It has properties to cause your intestine to start producing acid, digestive juice. Because one of the main challenge with a lot of diseases, including malaria, is hindering your gut from producing digestive juice for digestion, making you not to have appetite, no appetite at all. And of course, if you don't eat, how will you survive? But if you bring in bitter leaf, it's going to destroy all those yeast and candida that are escalating the situation for you, and then open up your appetite, because your stomach starts to produce acid, and you need to also take it cautiously and take it the right way, because it could become too much. It could bring up too much acids because of the presence of the bitter leaf. It helps to open up your appetite because of this singular thing that it does to the intestine, helping it to start producing acid. And so if you are someone that, you just notice that you don't have appetite, for instance, and you don't feel like eating, you're weak generally, sometimes weakness, you need to also go for bitter leaf, because it's going to open it up for you, make you desire to eat. And apart from desiring to eat, it makes you want to take water. And that is even one of the very beautiful things I like about bitter leaf. Sometimes you just feel like you don't want to take water. It's very common with seniors. It is a condition in your body that made you not to want to drink water, when there is too much toxins sometimes. But you will notice that each time you take the bitter leaf, for instance, you just, especially when you take it the right way, which I want to quickly share before I leave, it's going to make you to want to drink more water. And that desire to drink more water tells you that it's a detox food. That's another benefit of the bitter leaf. And so when you want to detox, want to clean your system, want to, just bring in some good quality natural vegetables, low in oxalate, to help you, reduce toxins. Bitter leaf is one of the foods you should be going for. Yes. And then if you want to boost your immunity, yes, reduce inflammations, you need to also go for this particular vegetable. And guess what? Don't just take some bitter leaf and start to chew it. Don't just take some bitter leaf. It's something I have tested, and I know the risk and the danger involved in just taking the raw bitter leaf. You need to wash it to remove some of the acids. You need to wash it a little bit. And then if you want to juice it, make sure that that first set of acid is taken out, because it's something that I have witnessed, I have tested, and I have heard from people who escaped the danger. The complication of taking just the raw bitter leaf, juice lots of it. What was the person trying to do? He's trying to lose weight, because you heard it works for weight loss. So you don't have to. Ensure you wash it. Telling you about how to consume the bitter leaf. Wash it a little bit. Then if you want to, at least the first water must be thrown away. You don't have to wash all the bitters away, because that is the strength of the bitter leaf. So you need to throw the first water away, and then you can blend it and juice it. And don't take it too much if you want to take the juice. Now, you can also wash it gently if you don't have a juicer. Of course, I do that most of the time. You can wash it just gently, a few of the leaves, 3, 4, 5 leaves is okay. Wash it gently, and then after that washing, you just chew it, and chew with the leaves and everything. It's okay that way too. You don't have any problem. Then if you have large quantities of it, I'm talking of the bitter leaf, you can also dry it, and stock a few of them for future use, in case you are even traveling or you want to go to a location where they don't have the bitter leaf. You can dry some and put it in a stainless container, not plastic, to allow the nutrients and everything to stay intact. So if you get to your location, you can take a few of the leaves and make tea out of it, just like you would ordinary leafy teas. But this time around, it's not in a leafy bag or leafy tea bag, but you just take the dried one and make tea out of it. Those who are traveling can take advantage of this method. I have also tried it. And then preserve it in a stainless container. Avoid using plastic to stock it. Either stainless or other better container, not plastic. And then you can keep it for a few months or travel along to wherever you are going. And then the next way to consume the bitter leaf is to make soup with it. Of course, I was enjoying this method, but over the years, to avoid the inclusion of oils and fats, I think I'm trying to take it the way it is and reduce the frequency of using it in soups, because soups will involve you adding oils, adding other things. You add salt, you add the rest of other things, which you may not need at a particular time, but you can still make soup out of it. Younger people can do that. But the older adult sometimes will always not want anything sticky, either oily or whatever. So those ones can just wash it, make tea out of it, take the juice of it, or just wash the leaf and chew it. These are part of these various ways you can take the bitter leaf without having to affect its efficacy and what it will do for you. And so you don't have to overdo it. It contains some acid. Take it in moderation. Cook with it. Cook your melon soup, egusi soup. You can add it to other type of soups, even your okra soup. You can cook it alone, use a thickener to thicken it, and then just on and on. You can use it to add to many other foods, soups, or just make tea out of it. And don't forget, moderation remains our rule. And if you like this message, click the subscription button. And thank you for watching.